I am ready to lead Mount Kenya patriots who are not shareholders in Ruto and Rigathi company. And before you know, the mountain will be split into two camps. Those are the words of Mwangi Weria, the former Murang'a governor, some few minutes after a closed-door meeting with Raila Odinga. Welcome to the Bold Analysis. And in this video, I want us to unravel the behind-the-scene politics that is going on, or rather what was at the center of the meeting between Raila Odinga and Mwangi Weria. If you check this photo here, this is a photo that was shared by Mwangi Weria. Raila Odinga himself have not shared that photo, but this photo was shared by Mwangi Weria, confirming that indeed there was a meeting between him and Raila Odinga. And after that, he shared a 3-minute video speaking about what, according to him, is the wrong things that Rigathi and his co-founders of the company are doing against Raila Odinga. Listen to that here.
To join me, I am the leader of non-shareholders. Gachagua is the leader of shareholders. From today, and I'm saying there will be two groups in Mount Kenya. One led by Gachagua, the shareholders, the other led by Weria. And that was one of the purposes of meeting Raila Odinga today. And I've told him clearly and so. I also want to speak to this issue of Gachagua always abusing Raila Odinga and trying to create a wedge between Kikuyus and Luos. Luos are our friends. Karajis are our friends. All communities are our friends. And I am not going to accept a situation whereby the leader of some few shareholders is telling us that Luos are our enemies. This business of always abusing Raila, when we start asking for our share of cake, some few elected Mount Kenya leaders always come back and they always tell us about Kemondo, they tell us about Mwendawazimu, they tell us about everything. Raila's age, he does not deserve to be abused by anybody. And I want to tell Gachagua very clear. I'm very clear on this. And I know some few people there you start replying. But on this one, I want people to listen to me. And I want now to speak to the people of Nyeri because they are my neighbors and they are our friends. President Kibaki actually was literally installed by Raila Odinga. He's from Nyeri. Gachagua is asking us who is Raila Odinga. We need to reply to him that Raila Odinga is a person who installed his elder brother, the third president of the Republic, Mwai Kibaki, as the president of Kenya, if he doesn't know who Raila Odinga in this country. Gachagua, and I respect him, I have no issues with him, has been in parliament for one term. Then he need to know the number of years that Mzee has been in politics for him to understand who Raila is. And I can tell you, the spirit of Mwai Kibaki must be turning in his grave now, because somebody from his area is actually asking who is Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga literally coronated Kibaki, and the people of Nyeri need to silence Gachagua and tell him he's actually going to bring a curse to Nyeri people and even to the entire of Kikuyu community. You can do politics, you can say you not give subsidies, but I think we should remove personal politics. And I am telling you, there is a time I say that some of us will get a curse. There is no way Rigathi Gachagua can continue abusing Raila. If you listen to William Ruto, he doesn't abuse Raila per se. They are dueling. It's a political duel. But we cannot have somebody at his only job every day is to rally people to abuse a person. So, and I want to repeat once more, the spirit of Mwai Kibaki must be turning in his grave, listening to Gachagua, asking who Raila is. At least, you can fight with him politically, but don't ask who he is.
That is the statement, or rather that is the 3 minutes video from Mwangi Weria. Gloves are off. And I can tell you, the moment Mount Kenya will start asking the tough questions, where is that which we were promised? That is the moment William Ruto will go back to the campaign trail fully. In fact, he's already back. Now, let me just point out some few observations moving forward that I've made in the context of this. Raila Odinga has been having difficulty actually penetrating the mountain after the last general election. And let it be noted that during all the People's Baraza, if there is an area that Raila has not visited, that is Mount Kenya. And talking about that is because amongst the elected members of parliament, the reason why Ruto actually rushed to buy all the Jubilee MPs from the mountain was to make sure that Raila is locked out, that he will not get an entry. And even the attempt to go and campaign, I think that was in Githurai, some very rogue politicians sent youths and they destroyed the stage there. And Raila could not even hold that rally, so he had to resort for roadside stopovers. So this happens. The meeting is coming at a time when Raila is planning Sunday activities, the Sunday rally and the town hall meeting. This is going on as the bipartisan team takes its shape. Also, another observation I made there is Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kioni clearly were not part of whatever was going on there, or rather, they were not in that meeting. So that meeting is very critical because even though Raila never shared it, but the fact that they made it public, Moi made it public. There are many meetings that Raila is having. Raila is meeting many politicians, but they choose which ones to let the public know. So the fact that they made the public know that they met, and that was shared by Mwangi area, is already a political message, or rather political signal that they are sending. So what exactly is at stake? I am glad that at least now the conversation is going to change. At least there's a new team also trying to make inroads. Mwangi is not a lightweight. He was a governor for Murang'a governor for 2 terms, and even vied for the presidency, but could not make it. He's the party leader of Chamacha, I think Usawa party. But I think towards the last general election, he actually moved on, he supported Raila Odinga. So what is going on? There is something I'm seeing, and not really the details of that meeting, but there is that which is going on. Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Ndindi Nyoro have gone back to the mountain. And remember the venom that they planted on Uhuru Kenyatta. Their team is just to speak hate. This hate that was planted on Uhuru Kenyatta is what they're now sending there. The script is very clear that they want to create a wedge between Raila and the people of the mountain. In fact, it is a wedge between the Luo and the Kikuyu community, because from where William Ruto is seated, he knows very well. The last time, 2002, when Kikuyu and Luo were actually on the same side of the political arrangement, Moi went home. Moi was a Kalenjin. Moi went home. In this last general election, I'm normally convinced that Mount Kenya voted for Raila Odinga overwhelmingly. And were it not for the dark forces, Raila Odinga will be the president. But it is a very big threat. In fact, the threat to William Ruto presidency as we talk now is the mountain. And probably Raila Odinga team and the Azimio team are making a very strong projection that if we can destabilize the mountain, then we are already destroying the soup. We're already destroying chances for William Ruto's re-election. And so the chaos that will come there will be very interesting. There are many things that are happening. And I was just talking to someone, I was saying that there's new wing are a bit quiet, but there are many things happening. In Chuka, there was the arrest, there was shooting of 2 people. A boda chairman of a boda association, Willis Mugabe, passed on. It was killed probably under some unclear circumstances. And there was even a protest there. So I was saying, because that is going on, and we're not seeing there's new wing taking advantage of that. They were supposed to go there and of course come out condemn under the umbrella body, under Azimio la Umoja, and push in where? In Thika. There was a stampede in a school when Alice Nganga was donating, was actually dishing bursary. And it's because the amount is small, but the school is overpopulated, or rather, the Kiambu, the Thika population is really high. It was a depiction of the need for one man, one shilling, one vote. So I've always believed that Mount Kenya needed someone that can actually just speak out, outrightly, irrespective of the political dispensation, or rather, irrespective of political alienation, but we needed someone to speak. And if Azimio can get someone from the mountain that can be more articulate and speak about these issues, it can be very good. But then, what is really getting traction, why Among area might actually get traction here is Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto are just interested in perpetuating the hate that has been planted over the years on Raila Odinga. That is it. So if we can still have people becoming that voice of reason, then it's going to be a very interesting. And we are waiting to see how that can play out. Now let me go to that meeting. What could be discussed in that meeting? I wanted to make also you guys, as I also break it down to what I see. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our video. That meeting was, and in fact, remember Martha Karua and Jeremiah Kinney are not there. I see it as a ground for Mount Kenya, a ploy or a plan to consolidate Mount Kenya Patriots caucus in the wake of the rebels that have now started emerging. We have seen Mwangi Kiunjuri and a host of other members. I've also seen some two politicians. In fact, I've realized most of them are from Laikipia. Some two politicians from Laikipia, including Mwangi Kiunjuri and Kabogo. I think there is Kabogo. And there is also Kabando or Kabando that are going against the grain. In fact, they're the Rigathi rebels. So when someone like Wairia is coming, he's just trying to consolidate that team. That will be the Mount Kenya Patriots Caucus, the team that will go against the grain. And having known very well that Rigathi is a very ruthless politician, he will maybe have to make an attempt of crushing this other faction. Now that crushing is what will create those chaos. So a faction, it will be very interesting to see a faction that Rigathi depends on William Ruto's court. William Ruto is not from the mountain. And then another faction will come. And because of this, Uhuru could be playing background cards on succession politics in the mountain. Very likely that Uhuru is playing succession cards. He's come out and say there are going to be two factions. There is going to be company shareholders led by Rigathi Gachagua, and I'm also going to lead non-shareholders. And I also want to be the kingpin. I know it's difficult because even if someone like Martha Karua will come out to say, because she was Raila Odinga's running mate, yes, it will get some sort of traction. But then the fact that he's coming out bravely to say, I want to be the kingpin, and then in his first statement is defending Raila, he's defending Uhuru Kenyatta, he's simply throwing his weight behind it. That Uhuru is saying, you know, for Mungu to say I want to be the kingpin, and Uhuru and Raila still speak the same voice, what does that tell you? That meeting has the blessings of Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru is saying, okay, you guys don't try me, I'm not interested into the Western politics, but the Nyanza West Central politics. I don't know when last Uhuru was in Central. You know, there are two areas he has appeared, and those two appearances have only been in Mombasa. There was first appearance in Narok and the other one in Mombasa. I've not seen Uhuru appearing anywhere in Central. Even during the Northlands attack, he was not seen anywhere. He didn't go there. So, from what I can see, I think Raila Odinga is cleverly aiding and is trying to weigh in the Mount Kenya succession plan. And then that is how Mwingi wa Ria is coming in with that plan to be also a successor, also to join that succession. Two things that I want us to look at. There is a discussion going on. The bipartisan team is coming up, and Raila Odinga is looking interested. It is looking like is pushing for a constitutional, is going to have a stab or another third attempt to amend the constitution. The first attempt was Okoa, Kenya. I believe it was killed by Chebukati and the team, the Isaac Hassan and the team, the IBC, by telling us very, very funny statements like signatures were there. The second attempt was BBI, and it was stalled by the courts. And I believe now there is going to be third attempt. Now, that third attempt is going to cause some sort of political mobilization. So people are just trying to realign and position themselves. Someone like Mwingi wa Iria Raila might have sat down with him and told him, look here, we are going to have another attempt to amend the document, the constitution. So because of that is there, it is going to create euphoria. It's also going to create some two factions, some no or yes factions, like the other time when the BBI, Ruto rode on the BBI. Without the BBI, they wouldn't have found something to demonize Raila Odinga with. So Ruto rode on the BBI. So if there is going to be such an attempt, Raila is trying to consolidate a ground in Mount Kenya to revive that plan. Lastly, I want to look at it this way. Mount Kenya is regrouping to checkmate Rigathi Gachagwa's 2027 card. Really regrouping. And I believe that there are quite a number that will come. Might even throw himself, wants to vie, can even go and vie. Lastly, I don't know, this is a wild one. And someone was, I just asked, someone was telling me, Kevin, Mwangi, is it a possibility that Mwangi wa Iria is also just playing Ruto's script of split the mountain? What do you think? Is it a ploy? The splitting the mountain, is he also working in the interest of Rigathi Gachagua and took advantage of the meeting with Raila Odinga to start that discussion? What's wrong with that? I'm telling you, politics, we have politics here for better part of our time. 2027 campaigns are just starting. I saw Bahati in UD offices, so you will know you don't know. That's it.